I encourage your listeners that if they have that pull, that passion, don't stop, don't hide it, don't not pursue it, because there's people out there that you can help. And we want to help as many people as possible right now. We need to get that beautiful light and energy into the world, especially if you're a healer, if you're someone who can help people. Please pursue that pull. Allow that pull to bring you forward so you can help people.
Hi, and welcome to Don't Drink to Feed podcast. This podcast is all about you and all the courageous, driven women like you. We are here to inspire, to empower, to share, and to embrace one another. We will be talking with women from different backgrounds and careers about love, family, friendship, their wins and falls, and what it took for them to live the life they love. I am your host, Claudia Noriega-Bernstein, and I am so happy you're here today. Hi, everyone. Today, I have a really cool episode. I have Christine Blosdale. She's an expert authority coach, and she specializes in helping entrepreneurs, coaches, business owners develop and amplify their expert authority so they can stand out, attract opportunities, and become go-to leaders in their industry. And right now, guys, this is like on demand because we all, especially after COVID, we all want to have our own business. There is less and less people that want to work for corporations or 9 to 5. But where do you start? What do you do? How you make yourself relevant? How do you attract the right audience? So I'm so happy you're here. Christine, welcome to the show. And let's start this.
Claudia, it's so nice. It's so good to be with you. Thank you. I've been looking forward to this.
Me too. But I want my audience to get to know you a little bit because she is on fire, people. If you could see her, go to my YouTube if you want to watch this again and you can see her. She's on fire. She has the best energy. So tell us a little bit about you. When did you start doing this? Why are you so passionate about this? And then we can dig into more juicy stuff.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to address, you were talking about my energy. And with my clients, I say your brand is not what colors you use or your logo or the font that you use in your marketing or your website, right? Your brand is you and the energy that you bring and the vibe, the imprint, not to get woo-woo, but we'll go woo-woo. It's an energy force that you put out there, right? And so if you're desperate, if you're like, oh my gosh, I need more clients, or I don't have any clients, I don't have any calls this week, that energy, people can feel, taste it, smell it, and they will run. Well, one of the things that I love to do is to help people with their confidence and that they're really good at what they do, and to put that messaging out there. So I just wanted to address that first of all. How I got into coaching is that I always wanted to be a teacher. I had a teacher growing up in elementary school, and she was so amazing, and she believed in me, and she knew how I learned best, right? Which is, as a coach, the most important thing is that when you're working with a client, you need to know how they learn. How do they, are they more auditory? Are they more visual? Are they more hands-on? Those type of things. So she taught me at a really young age to pay attention at how we learn. And so I always wanted to be a teacher, and I went into university and did the whole thing. And then I got a teaching credential and I came out and I went, they pay public school teachers what? They make you do what for the first 2 years? I don't think so. And so I was searching, right? As we all do when we're young. And so in that search, I just started to be very creative. And I was very lucky to have a mother. My mother was from Casablanca. She's half Spanish, half French. And my mother loved me. She still loves me. She's in heaven right now, but she still loves me. And she taught me the importance of my opinion and made my opinion matter, my tastes, right? The things that I think are cool or beautiful. And so as a young child, 5 years old, waiting for her to get ready, she'd be getting ready to go to work because she was a single mom. Back in the day, they didn't have a lot of opportunities for women. And my mother spoke English, but not fantastic. But she was beautiful. She was like a cross between Elizabeth Taylor, Sophia Loren, and Cher.
I want to have dinner with the three of them.
But she would be getting ready, and I'd be watching her sitting there just like so admiring my mother. And she would get all dressed and she would say, Christine, how do I look? And I would stand there and I'd go, well, I love the top. I love the wig because this was an era where they wore a lot of wigs. Love the wig,
Mm-hmm.
mom. And then I would say, but those boots don't really go. I would try those boots, like go-go boots. I would wear those ones with that outfit, and I think you'd be good. And she would change. Now,
Love
this is a
that.
grown ass woman who listened to her daughter and appreciated my opinion and what I thought so much
Mhm.
so that she changed. So at a really young age, I understood that my opinion mattered and what I thought was good or better it was important, right? So having that and then having the teaching background and everything, I was searching and looking and allowed myself to create. I allowed myself to write. I allowed myself to open up to opportunities. And way back in the day, remember America Online? Back in the day, there was no Facebooks, there was no YouTube, there was no TikTok. It was just AOL. And I
Mhm.
got a great opportunity magically. I got an opportunity to work for America Online, and I wrote an entertainment column that
I
became
love
like one of
that.
the most popular columns in AOL. And I got to communicate, I got to create content that addressed a very wide audience from 8 to 80. And so I had to keep it simple and I had to keep my messaging very direct, but also easy to absorb and fun. Right.
Mhm.
So I did that for a couple years, went to all the premieres and the celebrity interviews and all that great stuff because it was a Hollywood, it was an entertainment column and it really honed my craft in on knowing what people were interested in and what they would click on, right? So I did that for a
Yeah.
couple of years. AOL, they brought in the Time Warner, they changed everything. No more independent writers. So then I went over and moved over to Microsoft's MSN, and I did that for a while. But I was still sort of I loved what I did, but 9/11 happened, and when 9/11 happened, it changed everything. I just said, why who cares who Angelina Jolie is dating, really, in the big scheme of things? Who cares
Right.
what they're wearing? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Mhm.
Hollywood became very, for me, just shallow,
Superficial. Yeah.
superficial. And so I was searching for something deeper. And I found a radio station in Los Angeles, as you do, scanning your channel surfing. And it hit me. And that pull that we have, sometimes we have a pull to meet somebody, right? That you get a connection, you feel a vibe, an energy about them.
Mhm.
Well, this was a station and I thought it was so unique and I felt that pull. And I went in, I walked in, introduced myself, and I said, anything I can do to help you guys out, I'd love to. And they said, come on in, volunteer. So I volunteered for a while. That volunteer stint turned into a job. I was there for 20 years. And in the 20 years, interviewing people just like you do for your podcast, doing fund drives, fundraisers, and all that stuff. I learned the magic of the pillar of three. And that is if you can focus your content or your business on these three things, your likelihood of success of connecting with people is very high. And that's health, wealth, and love. Health doesn't just mean physical health, it means mental health.
Right.
Wealth does not mean money in the bank necessarily. It means having time to take your nap during the day, right?
Mhm.
Having
Mhm.
time to be with your family. And love is not romantic love. It doesn't have to be. It can be, but it's love of your community, love of your
And for
country,
yourself.
and for yourself. Exactly. So with those things, it was a natural to become a coach to help
Right.
people, especially when they have businesses that can tap into those three things. So here I am, expert authority coach.
I love that. But you know what? I feel that it was so important and fascinating that your mom gave you validation right from the get-go. Because your destiny would have been totally different if you wouldn't have a mom that shut you off and tells you, no, 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 you don't know anything. You're a kid. Keep your opinion to
Absolutely.
yourself. You don't talk to adults this way. She empowered you from the beginning to use your voice. She validated your opinion, what you felt, what you thought it was right or wrong, and that empowered you to get more curious and to start paying attention to people and have empathy for them as well. Because to be able to work with anybody, you have to be able to put yourself in their shoes. It's not just go
Absolutely.
and tell them you have to do A, B, and C. You have to be able to put yourself in that person's shoes, even if you didn't have the experience. If you had the experience, much better. That's the icing in the cake. But if you didn't, try to be in those shoes and understand why she's afraid, why she's nervous, why she's stuck, why she doesn't feel she's worthy, why her enoughness is in the floor, why she doesn't feel pretty. Whatever it is that she's in need in that moment, you have to match it. And I think that's the secret for good coaching in any area. You could be a successful coach, a health coach, an abundance coach, whatever it is. If you're able to connect with the person in front of you and make that person feel seen and valid, that person is going to receive whatever you're telling her or him with open arms, because it's going to be like, oh my God, this person gets me. So I'm going to listen to her.
And you hit the nail on the head too. It's having empathy for that person. So one of the superpowers that I have, and it was developed, like you said, early on with my mom, is that I can look at something and I can see what's off. So I'm that person, if I'm out to dinner and I'm sitting in a restaurant and there's a painting on the wall and it's off center, you know how they sometimes it's a little crooked, or if I'm at somebody's home and I walk in and they've got a photograph of their family or something framed on the wall and it's just a little off, I'm the person who gets up and adjusts.
My kids do that to me all the time because they know that I am OCD. So they will pass and you kind of move it to see how long it takes me to notice.
That's wrong.
In so many levels.
But see, that also makes you a good coach because you can see things that are right. Yeah. And now it would be different if with my clients, if I did that and I said, that's wrong, this is wrong, oh my God, this website sucks, all those things. Even if I feel it inside, you know what? One of the most I find as a coach, one of the best tools is when you are working with them and you want to correct something that they've done or their website or their messaging, is to tell them what they're doing right first.
Right. 100. Okay? Yes.
You tell them what they're doing right. First of all, I love this. This is so spot on. Oh my goodness. I get you now. All those different things. And then you say, instead of you need to change this, you need to change, then you say, this is what I would do. Yeah. Right now, you're welcome to change it and to do it. You don't have to, but this is what I would do. There's a lot of text on this website and there's too much text and it's killing me. Like I want to leave. So I would maybe do it in smaller chunks and just have a welcome video on your website instead of all this text, because people
nobody wants to read. Right.
And people you want them to trust you. So a video is a great way to do that. That way they have an opening and they can go, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And they can take ownership of that. Right. Yeah. But going in and just throwing a bazooka or a grenade in there is really going to shatter somebody and they're not going to feel confident to take those steps. So I agree wholeheartedly with you as well, that you have to have that empathy.
I always tell my daughters, remember the barber lather the skin before he passes the knife. So even when you, and now they're adults, so they have employees, and say when you have an employee that is not doing something right or not something that is aligned with what you expected or whatever, you have to make sure you praise that person first. Don't beat somebody that is already down. Build them up, make sure their walls are down so they're open to receive your feedback. It's not a critique, it's a feedback what you're giving them. And you're doing that not to make them feel bad, not to put them down, but to help them grow. And they're only going to receive that if they know that you are noticing the positive in them as well.
Bingo. Oh, you're good.
So now let's go to the juicy thing, because many women in midlife feel incredibly frustrated and stuck, even though they have the experience, they have the know-how, they have a beautiful website, they presented themselves well. What would you tell somebody that is in that position and they don't know what direction to go? What would be the first shift they have to take?
It all depends on their personality. And we were talking earlier about the brand being you and your energy that you put out. I have some clients that are extremely funny, right? And have the gift of gab. So those type of clients, I'm like, okay, you've got a coaching business and you're really struggling with your market, getting the word out about who you are, but you've got a personality that's insane. Like, I love it. Then I would, based on that person's personality, I would probably move them towards creating a branded podcast, a podcast about who they are, their business, but also getting them out and being booked on podcast as a guest, because they're going to wow any audience, right? Now, I have other clients that are much more reserved, and the thought of having our own podcast or even being a guest on a podcast makes them want to vomit. They're like, oh no, I'm too scared about that. So then I would work with them on doing a different sort of content creation to market who they are, right? They might be with a more quiet type. So the blogs and the newsletters and things like that, and LinkedIn, those type of platforms would be best. But I've also had some clients who have such interesting careers and such an interesting profession that I'm like, we're getting you on TikTok right now. I have a client right now that I'm working with who's here in Australia, and she's a past life intuitive coach. And she
Mm.
can, in a moment's notice, pick up on you, your past lives that are trying to come through and help you in the current life. So she'll help people with their health, with relationships. Like, why is my
I
husband such a
love
jerk?
that.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love that stuff. I
she's
love all that
fantastic.
stuff.
So I'm
You
like,
can give me her
your
number now.
your tribe, I tell her, I said, your tribe is on TikTok. Do you know how many followers psychics have, intuitives, channels, mediums? Oh my God. Your tribe is on TikTok, and it's a global, huge, huge demographic that would
Mhm.
love her content, her videos, but also her lives because they want to know.
Right,
They want to
right.
know, who was I
Yeah,
in a
and
past?
a lot
Was
of
I? But she's like, oh, TikTok, I don't, that's dancing videos. I go, no, shush. So I'm working her. Now, I have to work her slowly because she
hmm
thinks that Facebook is, and I said, Facebook is great for your high school buddies you went to school with and your cousins and your
right.
family.
You
But
keep
that's not your,
updated how the kids are growing, and that's about it.
but that's not your tribe where they can take you
No.
to another level, right? And so I'm working with her now. We're working on her website. We're working on our offers as well. A lot of times
hmm
women in business, they get started, they're passionate, they know they hate their 9 to 5 job, and they're going to start their own business, and they do not take the time to figure out their offers,
Right.
their actual thing that they are selling,
hmm
and they have too many, and if it's
hmm
too many, people don't they check out. So really working with people on their offers, their messaging. The website is really important because that's where people are going to find out more about you.
Right. Right.
So
It doesn't have to be a super expensive website. Before we pass into the website thing, I wanted to say something about social media. Not all social media is for everyone. You have to see where is your niche. For me, it's Instagram. I connect with people on Instagram. I do my videos on Instagram. I can talk about my story in Instagram. I have TikTok. I have Facebook. I have YouTube. But my connection is on Instagram. And also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it has to be where you feel more aligned,
yes,
right? Where your
yes,
business is going to thrive and where do you feel more aligned? Because if you're forcing yourself to be in a platform that is not you, you're not
yes.
going to come across authentic and people are not going to connect with you, right?
Absolutely. And when you create video content, realize that you can put that video content on all of the platforms.
Right.
And
And
I
see which one is
suggest
catching.
exactamundo.
Yeah.
So I've learned I had a love-hate relationship with LinkedIn for a long time. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I
me
don't get it. I don't
too. It
like it.
was so heavy for me. Like, who is going to even read my stuff?
But it's not about gaining new clients from LinkedIn, although that's possible and I have had that happen. For me, it's a great networking tool and collaboration tool.
Yeah.
So I'm able to put stuff out there and I have people that are not I hate to say of my caliber, but in my industry, right?
Right.
Or in a complementary industry that are
Mm-hmm.
very successful and they're like, "Hey, I want to have a chat with you because I'm kind of struggling in some things, but I really think that we need to meet because for some reason I feel that we can do something together."
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
Right.
Right?
Perfect.
So that's what LinkedIn for me is. It also forces me to create content differently than the stuff that I put on TikTok. Stuff I put on TikTok, TikTok is more for me, it's not even a place that I'm gaining new clients from. For me, it's a passion project. I like to do
It's a
funny stuff.
billboard.
I do
It's a
funny stuff. I do political stuff. I do like what's happening in America. I'm in Australia. I left 6 years ago, and it is not the same country. It is not the same country that I left 6 years ago, and it is a tragedy because what
Mhm,
makes America great is the multiculturalism. It is this beautiful melting pot of different people from different
mhm,
countries, and
mhm.
now it's scary, and I'm really concerned because the things that made America so great are being dismantled.
Yeah.
And we need to that has to stop because Americans, we're told as Americans too, from the moment we are brought into the world, you can do anything. This is the place where you
The
become
greatest
president,
country, the biggest
right?
opportunities. Mhm,
But you can do anything. And there are resources, or there were resources there
mhm,
to help you along the way. So, even if you came from a disadvantaged background, or you didn't have the money, or you came from the inner city where there's a lot of crime, there were ways to help you get out and to
mhm.
grow and to get an education, all of that. And so we cannot lose that American vitality of being
Yeah.
great entrepreneurs and creators. But we need, yeah, I think the world needs to step in and go, okay, let's let's stop all this stuff right
Let's
now.
revive America.
Yes.
I
Yes, of
want to
course.
bring something to your attention though. And not so much bring it to your attention, but I want to pick your brain on this. You just said America is the land of opportunities, right? And the opportunities are there for all of us. But oftentimes we stop or we don't take that step because we don't feel ready. What do you think about that? What would you tell a woman or a man somebody that is listening to you right now and they say, I'm working on this workbook and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but I'm not ready to launch my membership, or I'm not ready to start my podcast, or I'm not ready to have a retreat. What is ready for you?
I find that it's not so much about them not being ready, but that they don't find themselves worthy, especially women in business. Boys, we kind of raise them to think you are worthy, right?
That is so true.
Especially white males have
Right.
had it really well,
They
right?
have a really hard time apologizing.
Yes. But it's that worthiness. And so one of the first things I do when I have a discovery call with somebody is
Mm.
I find out if there's that imposter syndrome or that lack of self-confidence, or that you're worthy of standing tall in your expertise. Because if you're not ready and you don't feel worthy of being successful, it's going to be a very hard road and it may not happen for you. So we want to get that taken care of right away. We want to
Go
build a
to the root of
foundation.
the problem. Why is it that is what limiting beliefs do you have that makes you think that you gotta have A, B, and C in order to be successful when you can start right now? Doesn't matter if you know the how. As long as you know what it is that you want to achieve, then just go for it. And if
Yes.
doesn't happen, then you're gonna learn something from that experience. And then the next time that you try, it's not gonna be you trying again because you're trying differently. You have
Yes.
the mistakes or the errors or whatever it is that didn't work before, and you're going to apply it now in a different way. So it's not that you're doing it again. And that's the part that I always tell my clients, you're not doing it again. It's not again. Even if you get divorced and married again, you're not doing it again, because this is a total different human, the one you're marrying. It's a total
Yeah.
different experience. So you're having another experience with this relationship, with the
Yes.
experience that you gain from the old relationship, pretty much.
Absolutely. And when you're ready, when you feel that you're worthy
Mm.
of success and having a career that you love and clients that you love, right? Then you are ready. And that's what I say to people. I say, when you feel worthy,
Mm.
that you deserve to be successful, not that, don't worry about the steps or how you're going to get there or how you're going to book. Don't worry about that. But when you're in that space, then you're ready to work with me. If you're not there, if you do not feel worthy, then I will send them to you, Claudia.
I
They
work
need
with
to
them
work.
because that's what
You
I
work
do,
on the inner stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
you the
I
inner
do.
stuff.
They come. This is funny because I tell them, "Tell me what you want, and I'm gonna give you what you need." Because they think they want these things, and they think they need to fix something. It's not in the outside, and you don't have to fix it. You have to claim it, and it's already
Yeah.
inside of you. And that's
Yes.
the part that sometimes take a little time. And even when I start working with somebody, it's funny because I work in all the areas, right, of their lives and their marriage and their life and their business and everything, because everything is intertwined. So it's not just one area. And they always want to go to the business. When are we going to talk about my business? And what are we going to do things? And I'm like, but yes, we
Yeah.
are. But we need to make sure that you are ready for that success, that
Yes.
you are aligned with what's coming. Because if you don't believe it, you don't get what you want. You get what you are, and you're not there yet. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you're never going to happen, but it means that you have to work on yourself first. So then we can transition to the business. Your marriage is falling apart. You're having bad relationship with your kids. You think you're ugly and you don't love yourself, but you want to be successful. How is that going to work?
It doesn't work. Not too long ago, I had a discovery call with this woman who I looked on, on paper, she seemed amazing. It was like, oh my goodness, so talented, so gifted. And when I had that conversation with her, everything out of her mouth was negative. Everything. Yeah, but that's been done before. But there's no room for that. There's too many people already doing that. Everything that I was talking about there was a negative response. And I said, she's not ready.
No.
She doesn't feel worthy. Because when
And
you feel worthy and you have confidence in your skills and what and who you are, it doesn't matter if there's a bunch of how many business coaches there are out there. Every day there's a new business coach, right?
right.
But there's nobody that has my experience. 20 years in broadcast journalism, talking to people, really talking to people and learning about their business. 12 years as a podcast host, doing my own company, doing them, getting the mistakes, doing it right, doing it wrong, doing it the hard way, doing it the easy way. There's nobody that has that experience.
That
In
is,
Los
and that is
Angeles.
in your resume, but you also have your personality and your own life experiences that you bring to the table.
Absolutely. I grew up in Los Angeles. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up during the heyday of LA, right? It was a cool place to be. But all of those things play into all those that multiculturalism that I was talking about, that international stew that
Right.
Los Angeles is, especially.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different than small town in Kansas. Very different. So nobody has that. And that's why I'm unique. And that's why you're unique, Claudia. It's your life experiences, your ups, your downs, your things that that's what makes you unique. And that's what I want to tell people in your audience. You're very unique. But if you just are going to go about it saying everybody else is doing it, it's over, there's too many people, you're never going to get anywhere.
Actually, that is true. There is a lot of yoga teachers. There is a lot of coaches. There is a lot, but nobody is like you. Like Barney song. Do you remember Barney?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
the only one, and there is nobody like you. I used to sing that song to my daughters because, yes, there is a lot of talented people out there, but nobody is like you. Your uniqueness is your superpower. And when you embrace that, then that's it. There is no competition. Doesn't matter how many more people are doing what you're doing. They're not like you.
And right now, authenticity is your key because we as a culture, as a society, we're looking around and we see everything. We know now when people are lying. As soon as they're on the news or on their social media, they start opening their mouth. You're like, oh, you're a liar. And we see all the things crumbling, right? Religion, formalized religion crumbled a while ago, but all
Mm-hmm.
the Hollywood crumbling, right? It's all that glitters is not gold. The
Right.
politicians, and it doesn't matter if they're wearing a red suit or a blue suit, they're
Mm-hmm.
all corrupt. They're all. So we as a society are craving somebody who's truthful, who's honest, who's authentic.
Right.
So you get what you see, right?
Right.
Not a
If not,
mask.
the alternative is you're gonna build a house of cards. And the first time a little wind
Exactly.
comes, it's gonna be destroyed. You're gonna have a good foundation and you have to show up with your gifts. Not with
Yes.
your gift that you pretend to have, but with your actual gifts. So
Yes.
I have a
Yeah.
question for you.
Yeah.
If you could talk to somebody and tell them, I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can take to make yourself more visible in 30 days. What would be 3 simple steps that somebody can take? Let's say a yoga teacher.
First thing that I would do is I would have them sit down they can sit down with me or they can go into Canva and create a media kit. Media kit or a press kit, whatever you want to call it. Not even a one sheet. It's not even so much that to help you get booked on shows or to be interviewed on TV and quoted in magazines, but it's to help you narrow down your message of
Mm-hmm.
who you are and why you're valuable, right?
Right.
Why people should book time with you, why people want to work with you, those
Mm-hmm.
type of things. So that media sheet is very important. The other thing is that you're going to have an image, and that image is going to be your face. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a yoga teacher, it might be more of a full, like a
Zen.
body
Right.
shot or something, right?
Right.
But the importance of that photograph, you want to have it professionally shot, not with your selfie camera, but a professional photograph. That photograph is going to get you more doors opened than anything because it's your energy, it's your vibe. If you look
Right.
at my photo that I have on my business card, on my website, on my media kit, it's me. I'm in front of a microphone. I have my headphones on. My eyes are squinty because I'm laughing. I'm in pure joy mode. But that's
Mm-hmm.
my personality, right?
Right.
So immediately you get a feeling for me without even reading a word, right?
Right.
Just based on that photo, on that image. So a media kit is important because it consolidates everything. And I tell my clients, I say, I have mine right there right next to my computer. So I can always look at it and be reminded, well, that's right. I am an expert authority coach. I have done this, those
Mm-hmm.
type of things. And it's also good to help get you out there as well, to get you on different programs and things like that. That bio is also your key bio that you have on your website and all your profiles in social media.
Right.
It needs to be a
Repetition.
mantra. You need to have a mantra. That mantra is sort of like your tagline. So when people say,
What do
"What
you
is
do?
it? What do you, yeah, what do you do?" Hi, I'm Christine Blosdale. I'm an expert authority coach, help overwhelmed women in business get seen, get trusted, and get paid for what they already know. I can say that
Beautiful.
in my sleep.
Right. Right.
Instead of people when they go, "What do you do?" "Oh, what do I not do? I do everything for everybody. I do this, I do that, I do that." Right?
So
So
they say,
that's
I do a lot of things.
yeah, being multi-talented is great. I'm multi-talented. Claudia is multi-talented, but you need to get through the door. You need to get to somebody based on a real specific route, right?
Hmm.
So with my title, I can people go, "What does that mean?" "Oh, okay, she helps me with my expert authority." Now, underneath that, all the other talents that I have are there. I can help you
Hmm.
build a website. I can help you with your podcast. I can help in all these things. But I'm not going to put that messaging out there. It's too confusing for people.
Right.
So, so that's the two. So the media kit and then your tagline is
Hmm.
important. Okay.
Hmm.
The other thing that I would suggest is utilize AI to enhance who you are. Don't let it create who you are. Don't let it write
Yeah.
for you, but use it to emphasize your expert authority. My world of AI, I love my AI tools. They're just like my
Hmm.
family. Say how I name them all. I have Charlie the Chat GPT. I have with Marbleism. I have Eva, Sunny, Rachel, my reception. I have all these amazing
Hmm.
employees
Hmm.
that do the busy work that used to take me hours and
Right.
hours. I let them do that so that I can be the giving tree and create all these different things that I want to. That is going to help you in so many ways because it frees up your creativity and your brain. If
Right.
you have
It
to
gives you
spend
it gives you
hours,
the
yeah,
space that you need to create other things and to be busy in other things instead of writing emails or answering phone calls.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I
So
love that.
embrace the AI, embrace technology and they're getting simpler and simpler to understand. So you don't have to have a computer science degree to understand it. But again, don't let it replace you or your words. You still need to feed it, direct it, and say, "This is who I am. I'm funny, or I'm silly, or I'm very serious and thoughtful, or I'm very scientific y, or whatever you are."
Right.
Allow it to emphasize and enhance you, but don't let it replace you.
Right.
So
That's
those are the
so
top
true.
three things.
Like you ask AI to write a letter for you. Make sure you read the letter and you take those words that are not your words and change something. So allow AI to help you, not to do it for you. Don't lose your essence in the process. And
Yeah.
another thing I wanted to say was that for the people that do a lot of things, read the room. Have three taglines if you need to have three taglines for the three things that you do, or
Yes.
have three kits, like PR kits or three one sheets. So you read the room. You're gonna go to talk to moms, then you know that you are like me. I am an inner abundance coach. If I go to a speaking event, I'm gonna bring my books because I'm a writer too. So I
Yeah.
read the room. I don't have to be just one thing. If I want to be different things, then I'm going to be prepared to show up as the person that I need to show up with that audience. So don't allow that
Very
to
important.
dilute your presence, and like, oh, I do a lot of things, so I don't know what to tell you. No, no, no. You have to like learn before you go to an event or before you go to network or before you go to a presentation who's going to be in front of you and prepare yourself to serve that audience.
Yes. Very important that you say that. I recently got to speak for the tourism board here where we live,
Mhm.
and they're all business owners within this area, and it's all about bringing tourists to this destination, right? And it's a
Mhm.
beautiful destination. So they all have different. One has a dolphin experience, boat business. Other ones are restaurants, those type of things, right?
Mhm.
But tourism, bringing people here and exploring their things, hotel owners and all that. And so I needed to craft my branding and marketing messages for the tourism industry. So it's very different than if I'm speaking to a networking group of 200 women in business or beginning authors or
Right.
people who want to have a podcast, completely
Mm-hmm.
different audience. So you
Right.
tailor your conversation. Now with them, I would not use my tagline that I had mentioned, that I help overwhelmed women in business, because there's some guys there, right? So
Right.
my second tagline that I use, and it's on my website, it's on the bottom of every page, is remember this. If you're not seen and heard, you're not hired.
Ah,
And
you're
that drives
invisible.
home a point to them, because they're like, you mean just having my dolphin excursion, my thing, just having it doesn't mean it that I'm going to get a lot of people, buying
Mm,
tickets?
no.
No, you've got to be seen and you've got to be heard. That means social media. That means creating the videos, doing that.
Right. So
So yes, I agree.
how do you become in demand in this busy world?
I think it's showing up and creating the content that is going to establish you as that expert. And even if there's crickets, even if nobody's calling you, nobody's emailing you, still working by creating that content that will. One of the best things that I recommend my clients do is to write a book. And they go, oh, they look like a deer in headlights. So I can't write a big novel and this, that. No, no, no. A guide, a little guide,
Boy.
a workbook. This book
Mm-hmm.
that I have, the last book that I have, the Social Media
Mm-hmm.
and Branding Survival Guide, it's so small. There's no room for my name on the spine, right? 90 something pages.
Do you
It's
have
not
that
a
in
big book.
Amazon?
Yes, I do.
Okay. No, the reason why I'm saying this because I have a newsletter that comes out every time I have an episode. Also, every week I have a newsletter and I recommend a book. So for the listeners, if they
Oh,
want to register to the newsletter, they can do it. The link is at the bottom of the description of the show. And when your show comes up, then they're gonna get the newsletter and they're gonna get the link and they can go get the book.
oh, that's fantastic. You see, this is what we do. This is what you do. But my point is too is that you don't have to write a big book,
Yeah.
but write about something that you know and love,
Right.
and it will come across. And I have a very simple system that I do to pretty much ensure that it's going to be a bestseller. And so when you have a best-selling book, that moves you up in the ranks as
Yeah.
well. So it's doing all the little things that help build your expert authority. If you have a
Hmm.
unique title for who you are and what you do, trademark it. That little
Right.
TM
Yes.
moves you up as an expert authority, because people say, "Oh, damn, she trademarked that."
She's
So
not
little
broke.
things.
She had the money to trademark. That is not cheap, let me tell you.
It's a process.
It's a
So
process.
but the same thing is when it's like companies that hire people, they go, you need to be a college graduate, right? And we need to have a degree. It's not so much that they care that you have that particular degree. It's because they know that you can follow through and do something to the end, right? You're not going to just give up. So the same thing about a book. That meant that you had to sit down, that you wrote the book, or you had AI help you write the book, whatever, but you published it, you came up with the title, you've got it out there. And if you've got a bestseller, holy moly, that means that she's successful in communicating her message. The
Right.
same thing with the trademark. It's like
Right.
she just went through the process and trademarked that phrase or that title. So
Hmm.
it tells the outside world that you're a professional. You didn't just start this in your
You
garage
are an
yesterday.
authority.
You're an
That's
authority.
You are an authority. And I think that is important, not only for your imposter syndrome, but also for the audience that are listening to you, because you have enough evidence to show that you know what the freak you're talking about. I'm saying. Now, one of the things that I read in your one sheet was, and I'm not going to try to remember. I have it there. It says, brand, I will create a branding so irresistible that even your ex will want to follow you.
Yes.
And I love that. So, what makes a brand irresistible?
I think when you stay in your lane. So
Hmm.
if you noticed, I'm cheeky about quite a few things, right?
Hmm.
So the title of the book, the first part of the book is the Social Media and Branding Survival Guide. That's how
Right.
people understand that, oh, that's what's in the book. They're tips about
Right.
social media and branding. Cool. But the subtitle, Digital Marketing So Irresistible Even Your Ex Will Want to Follow You. And if you look at the
Hmm.
cover, X is crossed out, right?
Right.
To tell the person who's looking at it that, oh, this is cheeky, this could be a little fun, and it's fun.
Right.
There's funny stuff in the book
Right.
because
It's
that's my
entertaining.
style.
Mhm.
I'm not like some Harvard or British extremely, I'm going to use the very big words and all that stuff. No, I talk I write the way I talk, right?
Mhm.
Simple, easy, and fun. That's
Right.
my thing. I'm simple, easy, and fun. So when you tap into that and everything that you create, so my webinars and my masterclasses, they're simple, easy, and fun. They're fun.
Right.
So whatever your personality is, you want to lean into it so that
Yeah.
people know also right from the get-go what they're getting. I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. Some people are like, no, I don't. She's too funny. She's too wacky. She's talking about energy, and that's fine. I don't want them as clients. I want the people that I'm excited because they become part of my family and my friends, right?
I think you also have to know your crowd. Who are you catering to? And start from zero. You're gonna do a webinar and only your mom is gonna show up. It's okay. It's not a waste. You're gonna record it and you
Yep.
can use it for something else. You're gonna gain experience. You're gonna feel more comfortable in front of the camera. Nothing is a waste. I remember the first time I did a webinar, I had five people. Five people. Three of them were my friends. Two I didn't know, and one of them couldn't get in, so she was getting in and getting out the Zoom because something was happening, and I felt so dismissed and so rejected, you know. And then I realized, hey, she's having a problem with her Zoom. It has nothing to do with me. But not
Yeah.
allowing your ego to interfere and make you give up, because consistency is one, it's another thing that is going to create that authority, and people are going to say, oh
Yes.
my goodness, look how many webinars she has done. Nobody needs to know how many people are SPP or how many people went to the VIP room afterwards. They just know that you did five webinars, and that means that you have enough things to talk about to have five webinars. So that's how you start
Yes.
creating your authority.
And also, like you said, is every time you do it, you get better. You get better and you get better. This is why I have my clients, I get them enrolled into a service that gets them booked on podcast shows. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if that podcast show has 5 listeners or 5 million. You want to say yes. If you send out that pitch email and they reply and they said, we'd love to have you on the show,
You
you
go.
want to say yes to every single one of them. And
Mm-hmm.
each interview that you do, you're getting better. You're getting better at narrowing and having a strategy. You're not just going on a show talking about whatever. You actually have a strategy to bring
Mm-hmm.
people to you. But
Mm-hmm.
every time you do it, the first time you might hate it. You might go, "Oh my God, I know I didn't have a microphone and I sounded weird and the dog was barking in the back." That's okay.
Okay, that's real
Every
life.
time you'll
That's
get better.
real life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have my four dogs in my studio right now, but my dogs are already trained. They know that when I go, hi everyone, they quiet down. They know I'm recording. Somehow they know. When I say, it was great talking to you, bye, I hang up. And I'm waiting for them to start barking or jumping on me. They know that the episode is over.
Yeah.
But there have been times that the Amazon person comes, delivery guy comes, and the dogs bark. And I would say, sorry, hold on 1 second. If we can edit it, great. If we cannot, this is life. This is what
Yes.
happened. We get
Yes.
interrupted all the time. So why you want perfection when your life is not perfect?
The perfection it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is each step, each time you do it, it's like riding a bike. The first time you rode a bike, you probably fell, right? You
Right.
crashed, you burned, you hurt your leg, your knee
Mm-hmm.
got all scuffed up, but you didn't give up. You kept trying, right? And then the next thing
Mm-hmm.
you're riding your bike and you have no hands on the handlebars. You're like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." Right? You have to put yourself out there. Again, if you're not seen and heard, you're not hired.
Yeah, that is 100% true. This has been so enlightening. Oh my God, I can talk to you for another hour. I love it. Thank
I
you
love
so
you.
much, Christine, to being here. I really appreciate it. We're going to have all the links. So you guys need to call her. You need to get in touch with her. You need to pick her brain because she's on fire, as I said at the beginning, and she can help you with your branding. We all come here with gifts. That's your gifts, Christine. And I am thrilled that you were in the show because I know there's so many people out there that need you to show up in the world and show the people out there their talent. And it's so needed.
Absolutely.
So I am so grateful that you were here today.
And we want to help as many people as possible. So I encourage your listeners too that if they have that pull, that passion, don't stop, don't hide it, don't pursue it because there's people out there that you can help and we want to help as many people as possible right now. We need to get that beautiful light and energy into the world. So especially if you're a healer, if you're someone who can help people, please pursue that pull. allow that pull to bring you forward so you can help people. And Claudia, I would love to well, we got to work together. We're going to have to do something together because
We're gonna do
I love
something
your
for
energy
sure.
too. You're fantastic. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for listening to the Don't Shrink to Fit podcast. If you like this episode, please write a juicy comment below and subscribe to my podcast. Remember, we can only fly if we embrace each other. Until next week, be happy, be safe, and be kind to yourself.